We trust the social media world to be able to share stories. Well, we learned this week, you can't share stories. The Blaze was flagged for advertising a show about election fraud. We were throttled and flagged for an ad, for tweeting out a message that said, you have to watch tonight's show. It's on election fraud. Wait, what? We were flagged because headlines can be headlines can be deceiving. You need more context here. Yes, and we have it at 9 p.m. Eastern. I mean, excuse me? So why is this happening? Well, let's just go through some of the people that work at these places. Jack Dorsey, he's the CEO of Twitter. He's an active Democratic donor. Omid Kordestani, director and executive chairman. He matched $530,000 with Jack Dorsey's donation to the ACLU. Then he donated thousands over the years to candidates and the DNC. Ned Siegel is their CFO. He has a history of donating to Democratic candidates. Evan Williams, former Twitter CEO, current board member. He donated $800,000 in 2016, $229,000 in 2018, $465,000 in 2020. He's apologized for Twitter's role in electing Donald Trump. Bridget Cognier, public policy director. She's in charge of government election partnerships with leading global governments and political publishers, including content strategy for Twitter. She interned and was press secretary for multiple Democratic politicians, plus worked on the Rachel Maddow show. Nicholas Basillo, senior communications manager and former communications manager for Kamala Harris. He was the press secretary for Kamala Harris. Carlos Mahoney, former director of public policy. He left to join Joe Biden's transition team, worked at the White House under the Obama administration, worked under Hillary Clinton. Brandon Borman, VP of Global Communications. He donated thousands recently to Joe Biden, was the media spokesman for the decision to fact-check Trump's tweets. Those are the people at Twitter. Where are all the conservatives? Here's Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg donated some to Republicans, but mainly Democrats, is currently donating all the voting boxes. So you can go to a Facebook box and just stuff your ballot in there. Cheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer, donated primarily to Democrats, openly Democrat, and endorsed Hillary Clinton. Andy Stone, the policy communications director at Facebook, he joined the Democratic House Majority PAC. He was the press secretary to Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and the press secretary to Senator Barbara Boxer. Anna McAndrew, she is the global policy manager. She's in charge of global elections. She worked for Joe Biden, donated to Biden in 2020 and Clinton in 2016. Brian Rice, the director of public policy, was the legislative assistant for John Kerry for 3 years. Probir Menta is the global public policy person. She was in the office of the U.S. Trade Representative, executive office for the president for 7 years when the president was Obama. You also have Jessica Hertz, former director and associate general counsel. She oversees the ethical issues and on transition team for Joe Biden. She worked on principal deputy counsel in that office under the Vice President Biden from 2012 to 2014. I don't know. Stu, have you noticed a trend with all of the people that are in senior positions at Facebook or Twitter?
Almost too far right is what I picked up.
Well, that's
there.
one way of looking at it, and I'm sure the press would look at it that way.
You think there'd be this is a crazy concept, diversity. Diversity of thought, diversity of no. It's just not.
No.
It's not necessary.
No, well, they actually, I believe, think they are diverse because they might have, some Hillary Clinton supporters in there. So you go from Antifa to Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
Yeah, so they have the whole spectrum there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was listening to somebody, some podcast, I think, and it was a liberal who was talking about this and kind of complaining about the woke culture and that sort of world. And it explained it, I thought, in an interesting way, where liberals and the people on the left inherently understand that if you don't have any black people or Hispanics or women at a workplace, there's a lack of diversity. You're not getting all those different viewpoints. They inherently get that. And if you were to say, I'm just going to hire all white people, they would inherently say that's a terrible thing, right? However, when it comes to actual differences in thought, not skin color, which is, it doesn't necessarily form your viewpoints, your actual differences in thought, they can't understand why you'd even include someone who's just moderately left, let alone a conservative. You don't want any of those people around. Everyone has to agree. Everyone has to understand that sexual preference is now an insult. Like, all of these things have to, there's these hardcore rules. You can't break any of them. Anyone with any different opinion needs to be, expunged, as Keith Olbermann would explain. That's not healthy.
I like the way you overpronounced it, too.
Expunged. There's like an extra G in there? What happened? But that is, I think that's the way that they think. And, I think you'd think that these social media companies, who, again, get half of their money from conservatives clicking on ads, would understand this and want to please that audience. But they don't seem to be doing that.
Well, because
right now.
it's about race. The only thing that is diverse is sexual, dare I say, preference.
Oh, my gosh.
And race.
You were about to say it.
Right.
Sexual orientation.
Yeah, that's the only differences. They don't think that a difference in opinion is important. A difference in opinion has to be stopped because they know the truth. And the truth is all white people are racist. So I see people by race. I mean, they are by definition racist. Now, not the, Klan sort of racist, I don't think. Although when it comes to Jews, many on the left are the Nazi kind of racist. However, they are racist because that's the only filter they see. They disagree with Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. And what Martin Luther King said was, judge me by who I am, what I do, what my character is. Judge me by my skills and my talent and my character and what I can do.
They hate that.
They hate that.
They literally, just like they used to love sexual preference, and now they hate it. Look at the writings of Ibram Kendi, who outwardly explains this and says you should be discriminating against white people. I think he basically describes it as the people who created the system. But he's, implicit and explicit at times, saying that that's just white people, right? So the only way to solve those problems that he sees from the past, real and imagined, is to, as he says, discriminate in the future. Discriminate in the present. Discriminate. He's advocating for discrimination. And his book is on the shelves at every Target in America right now. Mm-hmm. On the end cap, by the way, in most of them. So if you're walking through a Target, you're going to see Anti-Racist Baby by Ibram X. Kendi. And these are the things he's advocating and targeting babies with. Babies.
Well, white babies.
Yeah, because, white babies, that's true. I guess babies of color do not need this information.
Right.
But white
because
babies
they can't be racist. But
right.
White babies are racist from birth, so you have to start teaching them that.
These are unhealthy practices, Glenn, for society.
They really are.
They really are.
It is everything. If you were looking to destroy a society, which they are, it's everything that you would say you wanted to do. I mean, I saw the Communist Party USA from the 1920s, their list of things they felt they had to do to destroy America. It's everything that's happening right now. Everything that's happening right now. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Really? Because there were like 15 things on the list, and every one of them have been done. What are the odds that that just mysteriously happened that way? Nothing was done to stop the destruction of America by its foes internally, but all of the foes list, that was done? Wow. What a coincidence.